Oh no, you do it afterwards anyway. All right, we live. It's Friday. It's popping, yo. Should we put the lights on already? I feel like it's dark. I think last time we had one, we had this side lit up. Oh, whatever.
You find it to be dark? I don't think it's dark.
Yeah, look, see,
I just
lit
love
up
the
my
natural
face.
camera light.
See, you got.
Oh, I have a shadow.
I have more shadow than you.
Oh, okay.
What am I doing wrong? Oh, I got the curtain. That's why.
Oh, maybe that's why.
No, hang on
Okay.
a second. I don't know.
Just
Either way, probably should have got the lighting done first. Hope everybody's good. You know what I mean? It's always a slow start on YouTube. There you go. It's all good. Yeah, Friday. It's chilling. We hot. Montreal has been pretty warm today, which is great. You know, we out here. Can't complain. Got a fun podcast. Got a bunch of topics to talk about. Maybe it's not that fun. It's serious. We're gonna get serious. We're gonna get fucking serious. But are we not?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna get serious.
Now we talk about cool stuff. We got a bunch of kind of more on the diversity tip. Again, we've got a few new things we're gonna keep talking about, which it's important to us. I like it.
All right.
Should we just get her going?
Yeah, let's get her started.
All right, spin this bad boy. Yeah. All right. Sticky already.
I know, right? Doesn't
Right?
take much, yeah.
I just got out of the shower before.
Yeah.
I'm like already like sweating. I feel like
I
I
know.
almost want to have a fan going. but I
Montreal
don't know.
life. But I think it ruins the audio, right? The
A
fan?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no extra plugs on that thing.
Oh, so that too.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 13 of Beer Another Shit, the podcast, Adjunct series, quarantine edition. I am back once again with my glorious partner in everything, Tiffany Alexis. How you doing,
I am great. Thank you for asking. Hello, everybody.
man? I think that's kind of a big new thing. I am great, thank you for asking.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's becoming a
Oh,
big thing. I
okay.
guess it's
I didn't even notice the consistency
right?
of that.
13 episodes deep, 13, my favorite number. It feels really weird because we did these episodes like 5 years ago on these numbers, so it's kind of strange to
13?
say them
Yeah,
again
yeah.
just because we changed the way we do it.
Yeah.
We're not sequential anymore.
Nope.
So this evening, shouts to everybody listening to the audio. Shouts to everybody watching on YouTube, which we kind of get right into it now, so then the people trickle in a bit later.
Yeah.
We have a couple fun beers that we're going to drink tonight. One from Ontario, one from right here in Quebec, in the spirit of Canada Day and the recent Saint Jean Baptiste Day
Yeah.
for both of our glorious province and country. And we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. We're going to be exposing. I like that one. Exposing.
Are we exposing? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
that is one of the
exposing some
topics.
breweries.
Yeah,
Y'all
there's
don't
some
even
exposing,
know.
Yeah, we're the beauty community on YouTube now. Just exposing people.
Exposing breweries. I mean, they kind of expose themselves, but I feel like people might not be aware and they might want to know more
Yeah.
about it. And we're going to be talking about some diversity stuff, which always is important to us. And there was one or two more other things. I'm not looking at the notes, so there you go. There's the notes right behind the damn thing. It's gonna hide the. There you go. Boom. All right. Yeah, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. First up, beer. So what we're gonna start with is this beer right here. This is IPA New England from Oshlag. Now Oshlag are a. Oh, there you go. Ooh, watch for a second. Come on. There you go. No. It's harder when there's
Sorry,
two
that's
people.
us focusing
There you
the
go.
camera, guys.
Nice. So this beer, Oshlag is a brewery here in Quebec. They're actually the largest contract facility as well. So they have their own brand, Oshlag, of course. They're owned by the Glutenberg Group. So the guys who started Glutenberg, arguably the best gluten-free beer anywhere. I've you're welcome. Never had any better.
Oh, for sure. Their beers is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's like it's great beer
Yeah.
outside of being gluten free. So it's
You wouldn't
pretty good.
even know.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
I think
for
that's
the
what
most part.
people should be having goals towards.
Absolutely.
Like having vegan food or something. It's supposed to be an imitation of meat, and then it doesn't taste like meat. But if it's good on its own as a thing onto itself, that's what
matters.
that's when you
right?
have the money. Yeah.
So this beer is a 6% IPA with all Quebec ingredients. So everything from the I was trying to apparel, I guess as appearance, so that's not what I'm looking for. The grain, so it's got wheat, oats, and corn.
What if
Hops.
that's aroma or something?
Yeah, apparence. If anyone's be watching,
It's like
listening.
mild. Is that what it says there?
Yeah, it says what's that first one? Voilé,
Oh, valet. Okay.
and the other one, I don't know what, because in this cursive writing
Your
in
French
French.
correspondent.
On the can. Oh fuck! here
Oh,
we
it's
go.
in English.
In English, appearance. Okay, hazy and gold. Oh,
Okay.
well then, that's what it is in French.
Guess so. What's hazy?
Is that RAILLE?
So you're a rail boy.
Rail garçon.
Rail garçon.
Or garçon de rail.
Yeah.
If anyone, when they come on, if I see like Guillaume or one of the French dudes, I'll find out. So it's hazy and gold, which is a fact.
Yeah.
The grain bill wheats, oats, and corn, as I say, because I'm basically French. And
Yeah.
Can,
You're
translate.
basically French. Yeah.
Now the hops are Chinook, Centennial, and Cascade because they're a little limited, all C hops, but there's only so many things you can grow here in Quebec. Legally, when I say legally, we've talked about it before in old podcasts about how hops work, and you have to have a license, and usually if someone comes up with a hop, they spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars coming up with this damn hop and breeding it over the years, so they get their money. Not anybody can just grow Galaxy. You have to grow it in Australia, and only certain farms can do it, hence there being a limited amount. So they've limited in the taste profiles they can get here. Coriander seeds and angelica seeds as well.
So that's cool.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Get in it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Nose is tropical, fruity, little earthy. Creamy mouthfeel. A little tropical, bit of tropical fruits. The angelica seeds, I've had them in another beer. I forgot what it was. And coriander seeds, I guess, is like an interesting flavor. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
I think this flavor is attributed to those things.
Ah, okay, interesting.
The Cascade is like a classic hop, so it's like a little piney touch from the Cascade. Centennial's a little fruity. Chinook, not so much. I like it. I thought this was like a good one just to represent. So you can get this pretty much everywhere across Quebec.
Something interesting I saw the other day.
Talk to me.
I don't remember what it was, what article I was reading. It's probably October or something, but it was saying that like these New England IPAs should even be called New England IPAs anymore, or
because they're not made in New England.
So if it's not made in New England, they should just be called either double dry hopped IPAs, because that's usually what's happening, or just hazy IPAs.
Interesting.
Which I thought was interesting, because I guess that's equivalent to like champagne or something, right? So
that's a really good point.
We respect it, or like what Bim did at Godspeed, where
he won't call it Pilsner, he calls it a
Pilsners.
Czech Pale Lager.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, and I was like, technically maybe it should be in the
That's
same
a really
way.
good point.
Or you should only be allowed to say New England style IPA. Quebec would be the closest, or to be able to do it out of everybody, just based on proximity. But I thought that was interesting. Because I was like, if you did treat it in that same way, then technically they created it, and only the New England IPA can be made in New England or something.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And then what does separate the New England IPA from a double dry hopped IPA?
Yeah, I guess so, if you call it that.
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
No,
because that's basically what they're saying. They're like, what's the real difference?
So you could have a double dry hopped West Coast IPA. So a double dry hopped IPA to me, so this is I like that argument. I think it's kind of like almost like a nice thing as opposed to practical. So it's like cool that New England is specific to the region.
Yeah.
But think about it like this, because there's multiple types of IPA, there has to be a descriptor so that you know it's going to be hazy. So
what if these were called hazy IPAs?
That's completely fine to me too. So that's a great way to do it. But if you called it like if you can say double dry hopped IPA, I would look at that and I'd be like, so is it a New England? Is it a West Coast? Is it hazy? Whatever? Is it a American IPA, which I guess is typical of that? Is it English style IPA? Is it brute IPA? What is it? Yeah. There's multiple different styles now, so I find that you're going to have to use some sort of accurate descriptor.
What if it should be called a hazy juicy IPA, or
Juicer
AF
or crispy boy? Oh, to drink. Start with the crispy boy. So juicier AF is the juicy, because it's juicy. I got that juicy AF button. I have the can. I think I still have the can. Okay. It's from a brewery in Vancouver. Now they did a juicier version. Dan, if you're listening now, question, we're just talking about calling the nomenclature of a New England IPA. Should it be called a New England IPA, and if it's brewed in New England? Because Sifra was reading an article about that.
I just thought it was interesting. Yeah. They're like, it's a hazy IPA then.
Yes, I think that's probably the best way to
They said double dry hop, but they also said hazy IPA, or I guess something like that.
Because I wonder then, you could have an unfiltered American IPA which has characteristics of a West Coast IPA, which are piney, it's probably dank, it's
would you just call that a West Coast IPA?
I think you definitely should.
But then I guess that's also saying it's not fair on anyone who doesn't make an IPA that lives on the West Coast.
So if they make
West Coast IPA,
right? But then if say Modern Times were based in, I guess they started in San Diego, West Coast, most of their IPAs are hazy, and I don't think they necessarily. most breweries don't call. I don't see any IPA that much. I see, and I say most people just call them IPAs, and now I've seen people argue that IPA in and of itself has come to represent New England, so that supports what you're saying.
And that's actually interesting that you say that, because when we interviewed Masorum,
they
were like, we call these IPAs because that's what an IPA is now.
There you go.
Which I thought was
and if they
interesting.
do it specifically, do you know what is interesting though? I don't think they They had one called Okay.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And that was a West Coast IPA, but I don't think they specifically called it a West Coast IPA. Isn't that interesting? So that means I'm pretty sure they did it. Like, I'm almost 100% certain. Let's turn that down. I feel like because they didn't. If you're going to, like, you can't just call it an IPA then do 6 different kinds of IPAs for consumer knowledge. Like, and one example, I told you the other day, like the chat with the beer nerd boys, like Nate and Chris and Noah and stuff. Someone sent a screenshot of a Dominion City beer that was just called an IPA.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's got the black is beautiful and untapped. It's very cool, right?
Smart, yeah.
A New England IPA. Sorry, a Dominion City IPA that was just called that, and they asked people, someone like, "Is it hazy?" As opposed to what style is it? So they were trying to say that, like, that people are obsessed with hazy too much, which is one argument a lot of people say, and alternatively, like, I guess if you wanted to just know what style it is, like, you had to sort of ask what style it is, as opposed to is it hazy, because this person obviously was looking for haze. And
they called it an American IPA.
They called it an American IPA.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think on the what's it called?
Double dry hopped IPA, actually.
That's what they called it. Okay.
Yeah.
Patty. Oh, I saw that the other day. We do have one like that, the Hop Goddess, classic American IPA that's not hazy. I saw someone post that the other day. Hey, Patty. So I call it an IPA and not West Coast. Okay, then Patty, in your mind as a brewer and a brewery owner, congratulations, by the way, because you're opening next week. I think it's the 7th. Over holidays on the 7th.
Beers by the 7th, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 4 days.
Fuck, that's amazing.
Whoa.
What do you differentiate, like, for your hazy, your actual beer called hazy? Do you call it a hazy IPA? Do you call it New England or something? And what's the difference in your mind between an American and a West Coast? Daniel here is saying, can Cascadian Dark Ale only be brewed in the Pacific Northwest? Maybe, because the Cascadian Dark Ale is just a black lager. I think a lot of people call it that. So this is where it gets kind of ridiculous, and it's probably subjective. It's probably no, like, right answer to any of this stuff. She's like, hello. I guess that means...
Yes, July 7th.
July 7th, yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'd be curious to see what people do. I don't know. I like to know, because if I'm going to go into a beer, the fact that this is called a New England, now it's because these guys don't really brew a lot of New England IPAs. So now they do a Nano, and the Nano also is hazy.
Because it feels like, should it be a New England style IPA? That's
probably a fair thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Daniel says, I prefer if it was a New England IPA style or hazy. It's the best way you'll say.
Yeah.
It says on the can, I want to know before I buy it, because sometimes I want a West Coast IPA or American, but it's not clear on the can what it is. I'm 100% with that, because I want to know what I'm getting into. Like, it's all about moods, right? Like, particularly with beer, a lot of it's about mood. American is clearer, more floral. Interesting.
Which is funny, because that is not how the Masorum was it?
They called it a West Coast.
I thought it was
you just said American.
hazy.
No, that's the untapped categories that they don't have control over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Untapped called it an American.
But I don't know if they differentiated. I don't remember. It was just a little while ago.
I feel like when you go to Masorum, it's just you just see IPAs only.
Yeah, no,
unless it's like it says IPA and maybe one says like West. I mean, when it says IPA, you're just like, these are all IPAs. Where do I start? And you're just gonna drink a bunch of IPAs. But like maybe I can't remember if they actually say like West Coast IPA or something.
I don't think they did, because I think when someone ordered it, like, I didn't realize when we went there with John or Richard or someone last time, and they ordered it. This is before the pandemic, of course, and when they ordered it, I was, it's clear. Like, what's up with this?
Okay,
and that must be the West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
So Patty's saying the American IPAs are more floral and clear. That means a West Coast IPA is piney and dank. So therefore, I don't know. Maybe I'll need to do BJCP.
We should do a style guide thing on our blog or something.
And just break it all down.
Like say American is clear and more floral, so like people who go can understand like what you expect when you see that.
I guess.
Like, do I like more tropical flavors? Good, then I do this one.
And do it in our own words.
Yeah, like people are like don't. A lot of people I feel like don't like the West Coast IPA, and they should know that, because that's like what a beer. When you think of a beer, tastes more like. When you think of the hoppy beers that people don't like.
Yeah, the bitter.
The bitter. That's the West Coast IPA, which I love them. But that I feel like when people try them, like, oh, I tried that. It was so I've tried craft beer. It's so hazy. It's so hoppy.
Bitter.
So hoppy and bitter. I didn't like it at all. Very bitter.
100%.
So we should do a style guide or something.
I'll talk to Nate. That's a good idea. And maybe take the BJCP because that's the authority.
Yeah, you should take the BJCP.
And then, take it, but I mean take the
use them. But you should also
use
take
it. For but then put it in layman's terms because they break down all these individual. I bet they will have an official difference between what Patty's talking about.
Yeah.
Just because obviously in New England we know what that is, but I'm just curious if what the official definition between American and the West Coast is. Because maybe it's just cultural.
Well, excuse me, and yeah, what she's saying too, like America is clear, more floral, then I guess.
But that might
more piney.
Well, that's what I guess based on what Patty's saying. But that could be what Patty thinks it is. Because I feel like every brewery does it differently, and you have every right to call your products what you want. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious if there's a consensus. I guess.
Yeah.
Which I'd be interested to find more about. So that's a good thing. I talked to Nate. I like that idea actually.
Yeah.
Kind of make a little layman's thing, a little breakdown. Like this is what's what.
Yeah.
That's
if we're doing these drink this not that, we might as well do something that's like a nice.
Yeah, like a.
Because we do the macro versus micro, so it'd be cool to do a blog. Of,
I was thinking about that.
Actually do. Did you create blog posts for the drink this not that?
No, I should get Nate to do it because he was in the first two anyway. We haven't dropped the second one. We dropped the first one.
Okay.
We dropped the.
Oh, we didn't drop them both yet.
No.
I should edit that one day when I get time.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I don't know what else we could do as far as other styles, because the only way to do it would be to get bought out lager.
Okay.
The only way to. So Drink This Not That, we had a series. We have a series on YouTube that we did it it was one of the first things we did 5 years ago when someone got it.
Oh, if you guys could see that video.
Oh, I took that.
That one is private.
That is on private. We did a Beer and Other Shit TV, we called it, and we collaborated with some friends of ours, and we did, part of that video was Drink This Not That, and we had, here's a great Pilsner, here's a not so good one. Mm-hmm. Ended up being a brewery that got bought out anyway, that we did it with. So we did one with, I think, we shot two of them, I can't remember which one's out.
Pilsner was out.
Then we did Lager one that's coming next.
Yeah.
And basically, we want to do other styles, so you almost be like, well, here's a list of all the macro lagers that you would be familiar with. Instead, how about you drink this one, and we have that beer on us, and we drink it. So we want to do other styles, but there's no macro IPAs unless it becomes Mill Street or Granville Island or Archibald or Goose Island or any of that shit. So that's what we're going to have to mention. It would have to be
faux craft versus, which could be interesting.
That was a whole bunch of
like Drink This Not That, faux craft versus actual craft.
It's going to be the only way to go.
Yeah,
there's literally no other.
Because I guess Budweiser isn't making stouts or something. It becomes harder. Yeah,
exactly. Harder. So we have to do it that way. So here, Patty says West Coast is caramel malt. Interesting. That would make sense based on the color. Yes, I think if you make only hazy IPAs like Masorum, they have the right to call them IPAs, but they still don't make just only hazy though. That's the thing there. Dan is saying New England IPA is category 21B. That must be BJCP.
What does that mean? Oh, okay.
Probably BJCP then. They probably have numbers and names and shit. Patty says, I don't expect to have anything different in Vermont, for example. So I guess in Vermont, that's probably a good point. So then it's regional, and it's cultural, and it's specific. I'm just going to move this forward a bit, because I feel like I'm really... nope, I'm going to spill everything. How about I'm just going to have to keep reading. Sit forward.
Oh, I see.
It's too far out. Yeah. My fault. Daniel is saying, an American IPA with intense fruit flavors and aromas, a soft body and smooth mouthfeel, and often opaque with a substantial haze. Less perceived bitterness than traditional IPAs, but always massive. Oh, this might be BJCP definition. Massively hop forward. This emphasis on late hopping, especially dry hopping with hops with tropical fruit qualities, lends a specific juicy character for which this style is known. So that's
an American IPA?
That's what the first
That's a definition for an American IPA.
So but he also said New England IPA is a category.
Oh,
so
sorry.
it's an American style IPA.
Okay, I get that. I was like, what? Right. Okay, interesting.
That's cool.
Lots of tropical fruit qualities lends a specific juicy character for which the style is known. No. And I guess that's the thing, because that's the beer that our friends will drink who don't like beer and love it. Because
every time we show our friends
who don't
try the beer that we're drinking, they're like, oh shit, beer's not bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It ain't what you think it is.
If you try to start them with the West Coast, and they're like, "Oh, this is awful."
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah. West Coast.
That is New England IPA.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's New England.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess we can look into that some more. Maybe I guess that's pretty layman's term anyway, but it's almost like just reproducing that information.
Yeah, and then you can say some examples of this or these beers or something. I think that'd be a cool blog post.
We'd have to think it through a little bit more.
Yeah.
To see how we would do it to make it like. Otherwise, why not just go to the BJCP? Because we'd have to kind of write our own general description of them or something, and put it alongside that. Daniel said, according to BJCP, Mick the Middleman, g'day, how you doing, bloke? That's out there in Brizzy. Thank you for tuning in. Like, good day.
Good day.
G'day.
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 Oh, you're just skipping the G. Okay.
No, I don't get it. Get it. What's going on?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
That's all you. I'll leave that to you.
All right.
But anyways, I thought that's interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. That was
Australian Golden Ale. Sorry.
Was it golden?
Oh, like, what's Australian? What's
what's an Aussie style?
What's an Aussie style beer? What do you think an Aussie style beer would be if Australia were to actually own a style?
We were just talking about the differences, I guess, between like American IPAs, New England IPAs, and West Coast IPAs, and we were just discussing that. But
like, so you know the British beer, bitter. Sorry.
Like a distinctly Australian style that was conceived and sort of came from Australia. I can't even think of anything. I guess I don't know as much about Aussie beer as others.
Or do they have Mick? Do they have? Does Australia have like a beer they're known for or something? Would it just be the Golden Ale? That's just what was there when we were there.
No, so you were there. You were there 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
I was there
last
there. Year.
Yeah.
That second time the first time it was bad in 2016. Like,
yeah, 2016 was like ridiculous. Yeah.
2018 we went, and that's when you were there last. Still a ton of golden ales, summer ales, and pale ales. When I went last year, and we were supposed to go this year, but last year I started seeing a lot more haze and lactose and more interesting, like all sorts of stuff. Because let's make one Aussie IPA. I'm down, Patty.
Let's do it.
We'll talk about that. Pacific Ale? Well, that's yeah, true. So Pacific Ale, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, dude, it's kind of like I guess like a light ale, similar to a lager, but with like probably tropical hops.
Okay.
I know Stone and Wood up in New South Wales made one, and they always won the GABS, the GABS hottest 100 beer lists thing a couple years in a row. It was always the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere. They're pretty big. Yeah, Pacific Ale.
Okay.
Yeah, define if you could define that would be sick, because then that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's interesting. It's interesting to see, you know. Yeah, because I feel like the Brits have their beer, right?
Mm-hmm. And American has a bunch of beer.
Americans has their.
What would
be the Canadian beer when you think about it, though?
I mean, you couldn't say there's no like maple beers. I don't
know. See, Quebec though has their own beers.
What would you say?
I would say Quebec is. It's not that they invent, but like what they're known for or something.
Every area.
And that would be
like,
Quebec has. But it's like what does. So yeah, I guess it's like what you create and what you're known for. Quebec, I would just say, is known for doing traditional styles extremely well.
Right, but I guess if you were to make it Quebec beer, like what you were saying,
I feel like it would be a saison.
Yeah, but then that's Belgian, so there is no Quebec beer. Australian sparkling ale? Yeah, like Cooper's. Yeah, Cooper's Ale, yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
That could be it. States have the big brands in domestic, but we have an APA Australian Pale Ale, but I think that's just one brand doing that. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. What's Cooper's? Did I have that?
Yeah, it's like they're not macro, but they were everywhere growing up. You might have had it, but I don't think you would have cared. And they're not like shit. I had one last trip with my friend Andrew. We went somewhere and they had it, and I hadn't reviewed it, so I was like, fuck it. I didn't have the sparkling. I think I had the pale or something. They were the ones where the bottle, they have all the sediment. You're supposed to roll the bottle.
Oh, okay.
Before you drink it. Yeah, I never really enjoyed them, but they're like classic stuff. It's not, and I think they tried to dabble in the new things, and I don't know how well they're doing with that. But they had the sparkling, could be one.
Yeah.
Pacific Ale is kind of between a pale ale and an XPA, but really just a domestic XPA. That's another style that could be Aussie.
That's when I first learned about it, is when we went there.
Like, I never seen them anywhere else. Like Balta, excuse me. I feel like his Balta's one always wins.
And what would you say is the difference between an XPA and an IPA?
Mick, can you? Sorry, bro. I don't fucking know.
But Mick, can you jump on, or like, are you available?
Like, call in, bro? Yeah. I'd love to know what is the difference between an XPA and a pale ale specifically. This is an extra pale ale. What makes it extra? I like the XPA. It's a cool brand. It feels like, to me, it's a brand.
Yeah. As opposed to like a differentiation in style or something.
Correct. But look, I'm sure. I bet you it's just a pale ale. Maybe it's a bit more hops or something like that. And the ones I had, like the one that always wins, the Bolton one, it's a really well made beer. I actually really like it. Like I
like that.
It's super light.
That.
Yeah, I brought one back last time as well.
Yeah.
It's a really solid beer. I feel like just with like most Aussie beers, they're not like they're approachable, super approachable. It's not super flavorful. They're not like over the top. I feel like that's where the Aussie palate's at anyway, at least from my experience. Like, no, it might not be 100% accurate. I'm seeing it change, but overall, I think that's more where they're at. Like, you don't want to overdo it.
See, that's what I was thinking about with the golden ales, Daniel.
And the blonde ales. So I don't know if those two things, that's what you were saying, because you remember summer ales and golden ales in 2018.
It's just when we went there, but that was 2016. So when we went in 2016, golden ales were just everywhere. It was just like everything was a golden ale, and that was the first time I had ever even had them. And I'm like, wow, these are just the thing, eh?
Yeah.
Then when we went back in 2018, it was XPAs I kept seeing everywhere. That was the one that I started seeing everywhere.
That's actually more accurate.
And then I guess when you were there, then things changed.
Because I went to the festival.
But when we were there, they had Jedi juice started coming out. So then there were people making. Oh, and then Tarek was making. Merrick was making
the milk.
Can't believe it's not juice.
Yep, he was one of the first haze.
Yeah.
Chris had
and Mr. Banks. Wheeze the Juice. And that's when I was like, oh, shit's changing here.
And that was kind of about it for there was Quiet Deeds, the juice train, which was really good. They had Three Ravens, the juicy IPA, which was dope. But that was about it. That was it. That was kind of it for 2018. So I got my hands on some of them. And then 2019, I had a fuck ton. Like, I had a mate, Shasta Tim. He came and dropped me like a case. It was like 21 or 22 beers. I think he spent like $150, and I brought him like 7 or 8 beers from here. I felt terrible, but I could only bring so much. I had to bring beer for everyone, so I was flying him. He was happy to get them, but it was like wow. It was like.
But he brought everyone Heady toppers and stuff like that.
I brought him Heady. Yeah.
Did you bring them when Heady was good? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Heady. So they were good. See, Daniel got the shit Heady.
Yeah, I got you the bad Heady. It wasn't. Yeah, it was 2017.
I was like, we don't know. It was just bad timing. Like,
we didn't try it until we got back, and then it was too late. Well, they were not going to take it back. Yeah. Like, oh, sorry, bad batch. It was just
but then Daniel ended up getting. Did you end up getting a good Heady topper in the end? Like, to know what that was really like?
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe we was here one time.
Yeah. Because it became good again in like 2019 or something. It was just like a weird period.
I think it was probably that batch, and it probably went right back to being good again.
I know. I feel like we had it multiple times and didn't like it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, and see, Rob was really not having it.
He sent me a video of him drain pouring it.
Yeah, Rob was not having it. Because he was like he's from Vermont. He was like, this is not what we had. This is not what we're used to.
Yeah, Rob should jump on.
He's hilarious.
He's the best.
We should interview Rob one time. He'd be fun. Yeah, we should interview Daniel. He's a home brewer.
Yeah, let's have some.
How much fun would that be? Daniel, would you ever do a live?
Yeah, he'd do it with us for sure.
We can't even get you to start a YouTube channel, so I don't know if he's going to do it.
He's had one good, one bad. Okay, so we might have hooked him up with a good one.
Okay.
I can't
good one was before the Bad Batch. Ah, okay.
Good one was before. Oh, okay.
So you had like probably the
So
best
maybe
versions.
I gave him the original one, or maybe you got it some other way. I don't recall. And then I sent you a 4-pack. I think it was.
Oh no.
I think I got a 4-pack just for you because we went for the day trip with your family from England.
Oh, okay. It was that time.
Yeah. Mickey's saying, I believe XPA is just extra hopped pale ale. Typically very fruity, around 5%. Exactly. But IPA has to be 6% or above. So you can say IPA is a double XPA. That's fucking gold.
Oh, beer's great.
Sorry, just woke up, so I could be speaking shit. Nah, bro, I think you're 100% on point. That's exactly what I said. A fruity pale ale. Where's Steve when you need him?
Yeah, where is Steve?
Yeah, bloody hell, Steve. He's probably working or having a snooze in. He deserves it. And I'm sure he works hard.
He deserves it, yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's Saturday
that's
morning.
Fascinating.
Saturday
I like
morning.
the idea, Patty, if you're still there, the idea of doing it straight, like an XPA, an Aussie pale ale, but we'll make it hazy, and we'll see if we can use Aussie hops, and just basically like a fruity pale ale that's called an XPA because that's what the Aussie brand is.
I feel like that'd be fun.
Or you could do like an Aussie 4-pack. You could
oh
do
my
a
gosh,
golden
yeah,
ale,
Patty, if you're still
Pacific
there,
ale.
but if you're not there, Patty, then we'll talk about that. Because, yeah, doing an XPA, and then I love the golden ale, and the Pacific, it's like a 4,
Yeah,
okay, that's probably too much for your production, sorry. Like, I'm taking over your entire
unless you do like small
but do them in small batch.
in the tap room or
yeah, something like that. That would be funny.
One for package and then some other ones for that, and have a mini event if you're allowed to.
Yeah, sometime next year. When you're allowed to have
You're allowed to do that
people.
Shit.
She's in.
Yes, I did get your 4-pack. Okay, cool. And Patty's in. Bam! All right, we'll talk. We're getting a little excited about all this right now. I love it.
Yeah.
So I guess we talked about that for much longer than I anticipated. It's already half an hour in.
So, hey, I brought you a good topic there, didn't I?
Yes. That's good. Well, the other things, that was perfect, actually. I'll do the short topics, and then we've got a couple of a bit longer ones.
Okay.
So one of the short... Oh, yeah, I want to show you this. So randomly last night, I decided to make some BAOS branded masks on our merch store, which is already a link in the bio. I'm just going to do that so I can hold her up. Maybe you can tap, because there's no other way for me to... Yeah, look at that. So we got BOS masks available on our store. I just ordered one for myself and for my brother. We don't carry stock. Like, we got this and the hat and stuff. So we don't carry stock of them. We have, we do this, I don't know, is it called dropshipping? What would you call it?
It's dropshipping.
I guess it's like, or drop printing. Like, we use a service called Teespring.
So they also ship to them, right?
Yeah, but they print and then ship.
Yeah.
So I guess it's drop print, whatever it is. So people have asked me, and I can't hook anybody up because I don't have it. Like,
you
I
should
literally
order
have
a batch at one time that you just have around. But now we don't see anyone, so
I'd rather
it doesn't matter. So
there's also now we're not seeing anybody.
I mean,
rather,
like
get somewhere local to press them.
Yeah.
And do one run of like 24 or something like that. If you can do it, and just like logo teas or something. Anyway, so if people are looking to get masks, I'm curious to see how they are. I don't know the quality. I assume they're pretty good because I got this tank. All
and
you
of didn't have Get It In You on it, right?
No, did you see the thing?
Because I feel like Get It In You for Corona is probably not the right.
Yeah, no, that's why I listened to you. I did that version.
Okay, good.
With the O.
As the hot.
The O's got the the microphone.
The hot mic or wheat mic.
Malt, wheat.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Shout out to BrewHeads.
Yeah, shout out to BrewHeads for the design. So that was one thing I wanted to just get the promo one. Well, the merch is like for fun. We make like $3-4 on everything. It's not about money. It's just people asked to get stuff. Plus, I wanted to wear my own gear when we go to festivals and have the squad in all the gear. So that's that part. What else we got? Patios are back. Patios are back in full force now in Montreal. Yes. I would imagine it's in every other place since we have people all over.
Where's Mick from? Because
Mick is from Brisbane.
Brisbane, sorry.
Mick, what's the deal out there with, I don't know if you call them patios up there, but just like breweries being opening, where can they drink inside, outdoor seating, whatever. Patty, what are you guys doing in St. Jean-sur-Richelieu, which is technically on the South Shore, so it's outside of Montreal. Dan was popping in Vancouver. We've seen it here. Tiff and I are among the, how would you call it? We are the cautious types.
We're the conservative crowd.
With
actually, sorry,
to,
not in politics.
Not in politics, but with
so we are not
diseases.
going to be partaking at all.
Even though that's our, what we love.
I'm very happy for them. Because I want them to make money. No, as in like I want the breweries to make money, and I know people really wanted to go outside and do these things. So I'm happy for them that they're willing to go out there and do that because it gives breweries money.
Right.
I won't be doing that, but I'm happy to purchase and have it delivered to my home.
What? I'm
I like
not
that
interested yet. I just don't trust humans. I believe the breweries and the staff are doing everything they can.
Yeah. They're wearing shields on their face. It looks like we're in a movie.
Like what's the Outbreak or whatever we watched?
So it's just like it's so weird. The shield thing is just so intense to me.
It's a lot.
Like it's someone coming up to you with a shield on their face. It just seems like it just takes the fun and allure out of it. You know. We're having those iced coffees, eh? Okay, I'm gonna have the iced coffees. I'm not stopping. See, I would take it to go.
Take it to go, yeah. We go in and we get
because we order from restaurants all the time, and we take it to go because you're not going to use cutlery. You're not going to use glasses. It's like you just
and it's all plastic and disposable.
You take this plastic thing, and you also sanitize your hands when you walk in. You sanitize when you go out. I also sanitize the thing.
Yeah, we sanitize our hands and then we rub it on the coffee cup.
Yeah,
and we've done it 3 times.
Yeah, we've done it. No, 4 times now. Today was our 4th time.
Gamba, standard, Gamba, 4 times.
So today was our 4th time, and it took a lot.
It took, I think we did it like 2 weeks ago for the first time. Yeah. So it took 3 months for us to even get, to do. I don't trust anybody. You understand? Montreal people, I love this place. I love the people, but they don't give a fuck, man. They don't care. I see people all up in grocery stores, no masks. This is the capital of fucking COVID in Canada. So I don't know about y'all. But I don't want fucking pneumonia, or I don't want to be on a ventilator. I don't know how my body's going to respond. So I don't want it. And I don't want to take any risks.
But that's why I like the shipping or takeout to go. I'm happy with to go. Because my main issue is sharing cutlery and sharing glasses and being so close to people on this patio forever.
Yeah, I've seen people friends, no calling any homies' names out, but I've seen people in groups of 6, this close together.
Yeah.
like
and you're
eating
just
next to each other,
cleaning glasses.
like
I don't know, it just
hugging.
seems kind of like a COVID party.
Yeah, it's like COVID fucking.
But
party.
I want the
Like,
industry
what?
to get money, and I'm happy that that's what's happening because the cafe we went to today to get nice coffee, I noticed people were sitting inside. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that was a thing now.
That shocked me. I couldn't believe it.
I guess in the end, whatever, if everyone feels it's safe enough to do it, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't into that.
We'll just send them. At least we're still giving money. We're just not sitting down and giving. Them money.
We order
but
coffee,
I love a patio.
beans, and beer.
Nobody
and
loves a
food,
patio more than I do.
Yeah, no,
This
that's
is very
how much
Donald
we're
Trump. This is a
getting.
Donald
Nobody.
Nobody loves
patios,
this as much as I do. Tremendous.
Tremendous patios.
But yeah, not this time around. Too bad we can't ship.
Hold up.
Sorry.
So Daniel, small breweries have patios on the sidewalk and the street now. I'm keen, probably going tomorrow. Yeah, no, I was probably better in Vancouver. I think Vancouver did way better than us.
Yeah, you guys did really well in Vancouver.
Which is kind of surprising, being that you've got so many people from China who maybe have been traveling back and forth.
Yeah.
Between it, because you're the West Coast, so it's just more common. So that's really surprising. Patty's saying, "Too bad we can't ship." Yeah, that's the bullshit. I've seen everyone's trying to do that. The shipping's the best, but I can make some arrangements for my VIP. Hey,
oh, hush.
Oh, stop it, Patty. Basim, is that how you say it? Can't believe I almost missed it. My favorite part of the week. Love you, Basim.
Wow, that felt like being in elementary school, because that's junior high.
Basim is my Toronto plug. I love you for the beer today, bro. Thank you. I sent you the text. Dan is saying your area is nuts from what I've heard. Zero fucks being given. It is. Yeah. I feel like
that's where the paranoia lies too, right?
And look, Patty's right to call us out for that, and that's a very fair point. But that was as far as we'll go. So going in there, we're not going to have that coffee and sit on a patio. We're not going to drink it out of their Chinaware in their glass or whatever. We're going to get that shit in a plastic cup, sanitize that bitch, and get the fuck out.
Yeah, right away.
We minimize our time in there. We don't touch anything. We have protocols with like, one of us is dirty, one of us is clean in the supermarket. Because of the shopping list is on
like
my
if I
phone.
get COVID, I'd be really pissed because I've been doing a lot of work to not get COVID.
I would be so
I'd be
mad.
like, are you kidding me? After all of this that I've done here, all the washing of the groceries, the masks, the not seeing anyone ever, all this stuff. Like your hands are dry because you've washed them 9 times. Like if I still got COVID, I'd be so fucking pissed.
Mad. I feel like people look at us like we're crazy, though.
For sure think we're crazy.
We've seen
Bassett was
one
on a
friend,
patio today. It definitely knows I think that he's crazy, but that's fine.
In this
Everyone
whole time,
gets to do
in
what
4 months, we've seen one friend
for a social distancing,
coffee in the park and a walk.
Yeah.
Like she walked sort of either edge of the sidewalk together.
Yeah.
And that was
the
only other time.
Yelling at you, you're like, "Hey, yeah, so great, eh?"
It was really awkward to even talk because we're walking down like Main Street and we could barely hear each other.
Yeah.
I've had 2 different people in the beer industry drop me beer in person that I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, and then I saw them and talked to them out the front for 2
it was
meters
fun
away.
because we saw JF and JP for their
little thing. But that was mad distance
and that was
as well.
distant, and, so
and they gave us the glassware. It was
you
brand new glassware
yourself,
they watched, and they go, "Oh, we can't take the glassware back," and they gave us the glassware for this.
So that was
they had to take photos of making like a beer cocktail.
Yeah.
And then we've had delivery people, so that's it. So we've been extremely cautious, but like Tiff said, I'm super happy that they're back open again.
Yeah, because I want the breweries to have money. So if everyone's comfortable, people are more comfortable than we are.
100%, exactly. So, Mika saying in Brisbane, some tap houses and brewery are open around the Palaces, not Vic.
What's Palaces?
Not too sure. It might be an area in Brisbane. With safety in mind, of course, but the problem is now I'm doing dry July for the first time ever, so no beer for the sesh. Oh no.
Why dry July? Isn't it dry January?
Oh, sorry, sober October. Think about it. The dry July is the equivalent of January because July is winter. So you're not doing shit else, right? So you might as well do that. Okay. Then it rhymes. That's why the sober
dry
October.
July, sober October.
So people been drinking all summer.
You know, so funny. Sober October is specifically a Joe Rogan thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bassett will attest to that. It's just a Joe Rogan and his friends thing.
Okay, I thought it was like a common thing along with dry July. We do dry January. But that's because there's also alliteration.
Yeah.
But it's the just after Christmas, after all the holidays.
Try sober October.
Fuck that.
I can't imagine what it'd be like to be sober for a whole month.
We've done it. We did
dry January 2 years in a row. Yeah, we did up to. I did up to the 28th day or something.
Oh yeah, we did.
I was like, oh,
so I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but this dude in this Toronto beer
writer.
Oh,
Places, not Palaces.
Oh, Places. Okay,
cool.
Yeah. This Toronto beer writer was saying one time he mentioned it's better to not drink 2 days a week than it is to do a dry January, and I was like, why? What's up with that? And he said, if you think about it, if you do 2 days a week out of a year, that's like 52 weeks. That's 104 days in a year. If you take a full month off, it's only 30 or 31 days, or 28.
Yeah.
So technically that's like 3 times the amount just by doing it. I take 3 days off a week, and I've been strict these whole 4 months of
you've been great.
I broke it twice. That was it.
You've been great.
Only because I had excess and I needed to do it. So I've been strict as fuck because I could be way fatter than I am. So I really.
I thought it was more because you get sick.
Yeah, it was that too. I just don't want to drink. I find the 2 times that I did break it. One time you helped me because I had too much beer, and I was like, "This is gonna go off if we don't get through it." And then I did it last week actually, and I didn't really feel too good. But at the 4th or 5th day, I'm like, "Oh fuck this! I can't handle it."
Only my conscience is what stops me from drinking every day.
Conscience.
Yeah.
Shouts to
Did I say
J.
conscious?
Yeah. You said conscious. Middle of winter, not so sweaty and thirsty. That's a fair point. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Yeah.
Even in Queensland, though, middle of winter, bro. Side question, Tiff, are you into orange wine?
I've only had 1 or 2.
We had it somewhere. Where do we have it at?
I think once we had it at a restaurant.
Someone gave it to us. Who was that?
I feel like we
bought a bottle.
I feel like we were with someone we trusted or someone.
They suggested it?
And then they were like, yeah, have this orange wine. And I liked it.
It wasn't like one of the fancy ones.
But it must have not have changed my life if I did like seek it out. It's also not that common, I guess. Yeah, it's just not that common. Yeah. But I do remember that we had it. I feel like I might have had it twice tops.
Okay.
And did I love it? If I can't remember it, I must have not loved it.
Life change.
Like in the end, I'm gonna go like on a summer day. I just want like a shard or a Sauvignon Blanc or something like that.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. Or just sparkling in general. Sparkling is what I try to roll with.
I got this peach wine in the fridge from cosying.
Yeah, Craig has this peach wine.
And you're supposed to mix it with Chardonnay. I think about it often.
Yes.
I have so much beer to not do it. Julep. Orange wine, orange julep. Oh, that'd be good to put orange wine in there. I love that orange julep. Yeah,
I should try an orange wine again. I feel like Rosewood made one. I can't remember for sure, but it feels like they made one.
Isn't that like some
There's somebody who I'd buy from for sure. Are you down for it, Daniel?
Check. I'm curious.
Because you have a good wine scene happening up in your life.
Yeah, Okanagan out there.
So you're in you're in a really good place. But like in Quebec, we're not in a great place for wine. So I definitely feel like I had somewhere else. No shade, Quebec, but yeah, they don't care about
wine like
their wineries.
No, they don't.
No, they love wine. They don't care about their own Quebec wineries. It's like you get.
They don't support
wines.
them how they should
imported wines, yeah. It's not like LCBO where there's this full section for like drink Ontario, discover Ontario, and they really devote this like area to Ontario wines and highlighting it. Like you don't really get that in Quebec so much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about you.
Oh, there's Steve-o. Busy morning.
We needed you earlier.
We needed you, Steve. We were talking to Mick. Mick was holding us down. I'll ask him the question actually in a second. And Dad is saying, I have a friend in your hood who's big into them. I just tried my first bottle. It was awesome.
Do you know what it was?
Yes.
I feel like maybe we had the orange wine at
we put in
Chez Bouvet. Was it Chez Bouvet?
Mate, I thought we had rosé. No, it was rosé. It was like our anniversary.
Okay. I remember being at like a cute like French. I feel like we were like at a cute like.
Because it wasn't Mont Lapin for the.
No, Mont Lapin. We didn't have orange wine. Yeah, Daniel, if you remember what it is, I'm so interested.
Yeah, I'd definitely be curious. Steve, what we were talking about before, what's the difference between an XPA and a Pale Ale? Mick gave us his thoughts on it. He thought you might know more. I'd be curious. Just for specifics. Oh, and define a Pacific Ale as well, please. Thanks, Steve.
We need definitions, Steve. Thank you.
We should get Steve and Mick on though, because these guys are fellow podcasters.
Yeah, why don't you guys...
Yeah, we should do, like, in the next few weeks, let's talk. I'll talk to you guys on Facebook or whatever. It'd be dope to have you guys on, like, if all three of you
and
are
have
together.
Patty and Daniel, too.
Oh, yeah, Overhop.
Because, Patty, we should do your Overhop since we were trying to build a brewery. And
yeah, we should at least just do another one, then.
Took
That's a good idea. Like, Patty, we'll talk. We'll text you after this. Dan is saying, I'll find out what he gets locally and let you know. Please.
Thank you.
I'd love to know because we'll be restricted here with certain things.
And look, I like your palate. I trust you. So if you're loving it, like maybe I dismissed it too quickly or like didn't pay enough attention. So,
yeah. Maybe if we only had one, we probably haven't had enough to even try. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Fuck this guy. So do you want to get the next beer? Should we get the next beer
I'll grab it.
And I'll introduce this next part.
What are we doing?
It's the bench and the plum and the bottle opener. So. We talked about this last week. Patty's like, we have to. Yes, seriously, Patty, I'll text you after and we'll figure it out because we'll get some Overhub beers and we can all drink them together and do it on the Skype way. Not optimal, of course, because we have a full season planned and that kind of got screwed because of COVID. But so we at least have to kind of catch back up and talk about that. I didn't even think that's a great idea. So, you guys might have seen there was a campaign from Molson called Make It Canadian Beer, hashtag Make It Canadian Beer. We talked about it last week because it's pretty fucking whack. And what they were doing were hitting up Canadian breweries, thank you. Hitting up Canadian breweries and trying to get them to participate in this nonsense-ass case of all Canadian craft beer that they wanted to all of a sudden promote when all of their activities as an organization go towards doing anything they can to fuck over craft breweries.
Yeah, it's quite hilarious.
It was so ridiculous. Now, they were hitting we talked in more detail, so if you want to hear what we were talking about last time, go check out episode 12. But my friend sent me the list of all the breweries that participated in it, and I want to shame them publicly.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this beer just before we go into it.
That is effing hilarious.
So this beer is Bench Brewery's Plum Grove. These guys are based in Beamsville, Ontario, right in the middle of wine country, the only major brewery out there. It is huge. All full disclosure, these guys were our client as they were building their brewery.
That was what, 2016 or 2017?
Yeah, good correct. Nah, 17.
17
into 18.
Yeah.
And welcome. This beer is, they have a series, a Grove series, where they have different fruits and different hops. And these are fruit aged, very delicate.
Thank you. Oh, their funky side looks...
yeah, they're
nuts.
Insane. So this is one of my favorites, actually.
So these are the last times that we probably get beers made from homeboy there. Mark?
Yeah, Mark's gone.
Yeah.
This is all in French.
This is probably
hilarious.
Mark's...
Oh, the last bottle I had wasn't in French. Oh yeah, this is the Quebec version. I got this from Oshlag.
Oh,
so
Bruce
Oshlag
knows.
bringing them out. Oh shit, Big Brucey, you friggin' legend. Bench is delicious. He bloody knows, mate. What
he knows.
champion.
He knows.
So this is their Plum Grove. It is 6.2% sour beer with prune jaune, yellow plums, Niagara yellow plums. So getting it. Cheers. What are you guys drinking, by the way? Oh yeah, so good. It's
That's
light.
great. Yeah.
It's fruity. It's spritzy. 6.2. It does not taste it. It's dangerous.
It's great.
It's got that chewiness that from like barrel-aged sours. Yeah, get that. Thank you. The plums are light. Yellow plums are super light, tart, refreshing. And because it's in fruiters, they're all oak fruiters. They got like 16 of the things. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Steve-O was breaking it down. Originally, XPA was an extra pale ale, meaning it had bulked up malt profile and higher ABV than a pale. More recently, it's come to be a pale ale that's extra pale, meaning it's super pale. That's weird.
Really? Interesting.
All right. So I wonder what if it's in BJCP or whatever they would define that.
Profile,
what the latest actual, because if it originally meant that and now it's become that, I wonder if just like New England IPAs, if it's become an official style from BJCP, because I'm sure in the Australian, like Gabs, the Great Australian Beer Spectacular, hilarious name, I wonder if they would talk about that. If people could enter their beers, because it's a beer contest as well, like, you win awards and all that shit. So I wonder.
So Steve, we're making an XPA in Canada.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
It would probably be the first brewed XPA in Canada.
I think I've seen one before.
Okay, damn it.
I know, right? I saw. I was pretty surprised because there's a decent amount of Australians here. So I was, my friend Matty, shouts to Matt Hennessy, working, and he's a brewer at Collective Arts. He's from Melbourne too. So there's mans out here. We're not the only ones, unfortunately, but we're going to run with it. Yeah. Oh, and I gave Patty, if you remember, I gave you the jar of Vegemite. We want to make some sort of beer with Vegemite. I feel like one day we can.
Just like, what would that
collab pod would be awesome. I think it'd be dope, bro. I don't think it's official. I can't like BJCP. So I'll hit you up after this as well, and we'll figure out whichever sort of time works. Basically, this time if it's on our side, whatever. Maybe we'll talk about it. Patty's saying, I just sipped my daughter's chocolate almond milk.
It's a party over here.
Hey,
it's a party. Hey, it's getting lit.
9 p.m. on a Friday.
Don't get too lit, Patty.
Yeah, chill out, Patty.
Also, I like that your daughter's having almond milk. That's very refined and fancy. I like that.
And a need for new
cow. Like that. Yeah.
What if they had chocolate oat milk? Oat milk is the shit.
Yeah, Craig's obsessed with the oat milk.
I love it. It's great, but you're on it now.
Yeah, I'm digging it. You
feeling it? At first you were fronting. You're fronting pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's time to expose these motherfuckers. Molson did this, did the Make It Canadian Canada case, so they got coerced.
Oh, that one must be out already.
Yeah, it must be.
Oh, okay, I didn't even notice anyone talking about it. I didn't realize.
Yeah, because no one cares.
Yeah.
So these are just the breweries. I've only got the logos, and I've just got like a small screenshot here. So these are the breweries that ended up participating. So some of the funny parts of this is a lot of I think they're kind of like batched in areas, and I think a bunch of them are owned by Molson themselves. So Sober Island, I think I've seen that. It's something non-alcoholic. Boschkung Brewing, they are an Ottawa brewery who, it was very strange they were there. No Name Brands beer.
That makes sense.
Like actual, they don't give a fuck. They're just a grocery store brand. They don't care. There's one called Paniza Brewing. So these are all across Canada, so some of them we're not going to know. Brasseur de Montréal, owned by Molson, so they're not surprising. Danforth Brewing in Toronto, kind of surprising.
Danforth, really?
Heard of them, but never had them. One called Clear Lake Brewing, not familiar. Foghorn, also not familiar. Ridge Rock, I've definitely heard of them, don't know where. Wasaga Beach Brewing Company,
they have a brewery?
Never heard of it.
Interesting.
William Street Beer Co., I've definitely heard of them, somewhere in Ontario, not cool. And then Ricketts, of course, also just a brand owned by
Feels like Mondial.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, all these black house brands. Picaroons, they're in like Halifax. Hard Knocks, like KNOX, don't know where they are. Brock Street, that is so fucking sad. They're the other brewery in Whitby.
That's surprising to me. That's very surprising to me.
Radical Road.
Drink Town, guys. Drink Town, sorry.
Yeah, Drink Town. If you're going to be in Whitby, Drink Town and Little Beasts. Oh, what's the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, Five Paddles.
Five Paddles.
Yeah, I don't know them, but I've heard their beer is great. I've already heard Brock Street's beer is bad, to be honest. Okay. Radical Road, we went there. Didn't really like their beers, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Where was that?
That was when Scott and Michelle and Brad, we walked up there. Brad's leg was sore, and we had to walk back and get the car.
Oh, yeah, that was okay.
No, it wasn't okay. It was really average beers.
Okay, well, I was just trying to be nice.
Oh, no, I'm not fucking right at this point. When you're on this, you're sold out.
Panisa is a friend of mine.
Panisa is a friend of mine. You have to talk to them, Patty. Where they at? You have to talk to them. That's a bad move, unless they're trying to sell their brewery. I just said, okay, we're back here. Yeah. Sorry. So Panisa, if they've, like, I understand. By the way, I just want to quantify. If we're business people, if you have built your brewery and you're trying to sell it, I don't care. Good for you. Get your money.
And this makes sense, yeah.
And I'm not mad at you at all, right? So if you're participating here and you're trying to sell your brewery, then I take back my anger and I'm totally chill. Go for it. It's still kind of whack from the craft beer perspective, but it is what it is. Look at the moon.
Isn't that special moon tonight? What was the name I told you? Remember I was reading it the other day? It has like a special...
You can't see it. It's probably like mad high up.
I think you can't see it yet.
Newark Brewing. We actually featured them in an episode recently in one of their reviews. They sent me some stuff. They're a contract brewery from Niagara, so that's disappointing. Unless they're trying to sell, but they haven't done anything to sell yet.
What are you guys' thoughts on breweries that sell? Would you not purchase from them anymore if they sell?
Please. Yeah, I definitely, no chance. One called Powerhouse. It's kind of small, never heard of them. Farmery in Winnipeg. I actually met the owners when we went on tour there in 2013. It was like today or yesterday, 2013. That is a shame unless they're trying to sell. Granville Island, owned by Molson. Smith Havens, they're also in Ontario. That's weird. Caledon Hills. We went to Caledon that time, so yes, and I drank beer at that place.
Yeah.
Naughty Otter, which I think they're also in Ontario somewhere. Fort Garry in Winnipeg, I went there as well. I think they might be owned by Molson. I'm not entirely sure. Vimy, V-I-M-Y in Ottawa. That's quite disappointing. My boys in Ottawa were surprised. Something Brewing, weird name. Don't know. Crank, don't know them. Holman, don't know them. Creemore, owned by Molson.
Yeah, makes sense.
One called Storm. Is that another word there? Storm Brewing? Don't know them. And the last panel, Big Rock. They are a pretty big brewery now, so it's not entirely surprising. One called Postgame. Don't know it. Something in the Water. Don't know it. Hockley. I drank that shit years ago, so I don't know what's up. Red Truck. They're the
Red
ones
Truck. That's from
Steph
Vancouver,
worked.
no?
Yep, and they also were in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. And then Lake of the Woods, also in Ontario.
So that means all their tweeting at Bellwoods didn't work out and they didn't get them to go on the package? Shocking.
No.
How did that not work out?
Oh no, Powerhouse is amazing. They're from London. Well, they're cancelled now, Patty.
What do you think would make someone want to participate in and align themselves with a company that is trying to crush their industry?
Think about that for a second. Like, Patty, if would you know that Molson are proactively trying to stop you getting your beer on shelves in supermarkets primarily, in the larger opportunities. You go to any gas station in Vermont, Firehouse beers. You go to any gas station in Quebec, horrendous only Molson beers. the reason why no one else is there is because of their practices at the end of the day, for whether it's distribution, whether it's the retail side, whatever it might be. In Ontario, they own the beer store, or their part owners in the beer store, so they make it prohibitive for craft breweries. They've got them in there now, but at what cost? I think it's a couple $100,000 to even get a listing, if I'm not mistaken, last I heard. So, I just really feel like I don't really know, unless you're trying to sell to them and it gives you that, basically like, oh, well, now I don't even have to make a random call. I can just, I would participate in their program. Boom, I get my money. I can make my cash and exit. I fuck with that. Would never buy the beer again, but as a business move, I would never, be mad at somebody for that. But if you intend to continue in craft beer and you participated in this, my G, that was not the move. Steve-O says, I always say I would buy beer from sellouts as I'm not opposed to it, but thinking about it, I can't recall the last time I did. Fair point. Hey, Mick, that's Steve-O say.
See, this is what I'm thinking about, which is interesting, too, back to what Steve said. Am I truly opposed because, say I'm a startup or a brewery, I'm thinking of it, I guess, a lot from a startup perspective, and I know maybe that's not fair, but, when you're a startup, you're basically creating your business with an exit strategy a majority of the time. Mm-hmm. Who's going to buy me, how I'm going to make that money, and then do something else with it and build something else, continue doing it from there.
Okay.
So, I don't know, it's just, if the brewer in the end created something and that thing became so valuable and they built it up and then they want to sell it and cash out, why can't they?
No, and that's still fun. But that's not.
But I guess in the end we don't want to put the money in pockets of the macro breweries.
About buying, but that's why I wouldn't. One, that's why I wouldn't buy them. But two, that's why being in this thing, if you're not trying to sell, if Patty, you just built your brewery, you're not trying.
I bought Goose Island beer if I'm somewhere. If I went to a sports game, I'd
right,
buy
but there's a difference between buying Goose Island when you're at a sports game. You've got two choices, Canadian or Goose Island.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to say no if I'm at a sports game and Goose Island's there.
And if you really want to be a sailor, but you've got a gun to your head.
Yeah,
that's the difference. You're not going to go into Peluso and with all of these things, and then go to Goose Island in the fridge next to the Keats and stuff. You're not going to do that.
Yeah,
you're just not going to.
Yeah.
Patty's saying here, okay, I'll give us some info. I think they're changing their marketing approach around the world after hearing this. Did I click that? In Brazil, they're approaching all contract breweries to offer room to produce there. Interesting. Like a dream offer, and some contract brewers are trying out. Okay. We'll tell you more later. I'd love to hear about it. Bruce Morris, unless the smaller breweries need some visibility, their market is so small they need the exposure for expansion, but I doubt it will work. No, look, that's a good point. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of something, say, like Brock Street, who in the craft beer world, I never had their beers, but everyone that I know that I trust tells me their beers are not good.
Yeah.
I always hear negative things about them. Can't confirm it, not saying anything negative, that's what people tell me. If they feel like, so already they don't have a lot of traction in the craft beer world, right? So for them, it might make sense. It might make sense to join because then basically they just get exposure to all these people who typically would drink Coors or Canadian
it is a good marketing
or
exercise.
Budweiser. So then it makes sense, and that's actually a really good point. I didn't think of it like that. Or this Newark dude who seemed cool when he hit me up and he did it. I'd love to ask him. I'd love to know what's the deal, bro? Why?
You should ask him. No judgment, but what influencer decided to be a part of the pack? Because to your point, Bruce, that would make a lot of sense in terms of, hey, if it's craft beer is so there's a lot of competition in this world, but there's not that much competition in the macro in terms of being something different in this category or something. So it's if you were if you were able to leverage the Molson brand and someone's going to drink your beer and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I'm going to go to LCBO cool. and this is kind of cool, and see it in LCBO and start purchasing it, and then maybe does that end up creating some gateway pack? Did that Canada pack create some gateway to craft somehow?
Okay, I see you being positive about this.
I'm trying, but I'm not for Molson. It's I'm not thinking of Molson, you're helping craft, but
that's the positive.
So the marketing point of it, maybe it does do that.
That's actually a valid point. Look, we have to acknowledge that. That's a good point. So maybe it is, because at first we were shitting on it, saying it was tone deaf, and I still think it is, because of the breweries they were contacting. They were showing DMs from talking to Bellwoods and stuff, who would never in their lifetime. Look, if they ever sold out, I think it'd break more hearts than anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, where were we at? Oh, that was Bruce. Okay, sorry, let's keep coming through. Doan's, I heard about them, sold out. Doan's sold out to Craft Collective, and the group is going under. I never bought Doan's again, even though their Pilsner was fire. Why? Was Craft Collective owned by somebody big? I'd love to see them come back, but it depends on who owns the IP. Great point. Speaking of that, I heard that Maddie from Collective Arts told me that if you guys remember Alpine Brewing I think they're in Cali in San Diego, they ended up being bought out or whatever, only by Green Flash, and then Green Flash went under, so then that brand disappeared. We tried them because Phil from BrewHeads brought them up, and then now the owners of Alpine are coming back with a new brewery. They've got a new name, which is actually a weird ass name, but they're coming back and doing beer, so they probably can't have the IP. The IP was probably owned by Green Flash, which is now bankrupt or whatever, but they're coming back. So I thought that was cool. Steve says, where they trip themselves up is when they are vocal about being indie and hating on the multinationals, then they sell out. Kind of ruins their credibility in my eyes. That's a good point. If you're going to be about it, stay about it. Keep the same energy the whole time. I agree.
Yeah.
Craft Collective, aka Factory Brewing, just another big marketing company with 10 plus brands under their name.
Interesting. Right. Okay. So that means they don't care about beer if you call them a marketing company. Yeah, they don't care about that.
Settle up. Patty's saying, I know it's not naive from them, but I don't know what it is yet. I know that they're hiring super cool people from the craft beer industry. Right. So if they're doing that, though...
is this what they're...
hold on. When you say...
That?
Are you talking to your friend or the Pins, whatever the fuck it was called?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Molson?
If Molson's hiring brewers from the craft beer industry, that's just more... They're really just planning a global takeover.
Because they know that, for them to... Because, craft needs to take over the macro, and for them, because craft is growing, I guess. Yeah. I heard it slowed, though, right now. So I'm surprised at the interest.
Well, you'd still want to absorb as many brands as you can.
Then the illusion of choice.
Yeah, an illusion of choice. It's like the cereal on a shelf.
Exactly, and you think you've got all these brands, but they're all owned by Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Every single one. You think, do I want Cheerios or fucking the Tiger one? And it's the same thing. Remember, I never forget when we went to Winnipeg 3 years ago, we went to a shitty bar for breakfast at...
I remember what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? In the Montreal domestic airport, which is whack. And the bar had 10 beers, and it was Cream, it was Molson, it was Budweiser, other different Molson ones, then Goose Island, then Granville Island, then Creedmoor, then Archibald.
10 beers on tap.
10 beers on tap, all owned by the same motherfuckers. Look, because once again, I feel like some people are purists about craft beer. We got into craft beer 9 years ago. I did. Yeah, no, you did too. 9 years ago. So we're not I've been into hip hop for the vast majority of my life, 30 plus years. But beer is new to me, so I'm not a purist in the traditional sense. That's why I fuck with lactose and all that stuff, and a lot of friends of mine that just get angry when I even bring it up. So I'm cool with a lot of things, and also we have businesses, we do business, how we make a living. I'm cool with business moves, but I'm not cool with craft beer. At the same point, is very similar to hip hop to me. It's a culture, and there's the way that you have to move for it to be authentic in that culture, and it's art too. And it's an art, exactly. And that's why I think the culture, because at the end of the day, beer is an art, and then the culture that comes alongside an art, they always end up being a similar thing. So when commerce and business come into it, it can change things. And if it was just about selling out or whatever to the big guys, it's one thing. But the other thing is the big guys are proactively trying to fuck over the small guys. That's the thing. Problem. Yeah. And that hasn't changed. Patty, I don't know if you're saying that they are changing. I would be very hesitant to believe that. I want to see some sort of stuff on that. Barufa, that is, what's his fucking name? Rodrigo. We interviewed him for the podcast. He's the brewer of Overhop in Brazil. Had a live with Ambev, I guess that's AB InBev's marketing guy from Brazil, and a girl that runs the craft division. They're so cool that makes you feel bad. Yo, that's what they're doing. We talked about it last time. One of our friends, my friend I seen her last year, Tiffany Waldron, she worked for Rate Beer. She worked for Carlton United Breweries in Melbourne, and she's a great person. I love what she's doing. She's out of it now, but she got shat on for this, and she's a really cares about beer and wants to make a positive difference. So it's not all about the people. That's the thing. They're hiring good people because they're the only people who can pay good money. That's what she said to me, because it's nice to have a regular, sizable paycheck in craft beer. Or beer. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I think this is the main focus, is having good people. They want you to think they're a family company too, like the small craft breweries. Right, but that's manipulative.
Oh, it's for sure.
It comes back to the same
fantastic marketing. Yeah. It's so smart.
But it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking problem, though.
Yeah.
They're still manipulating people.
Yeah.
They're still manipulating the market. They're still fucking over every other brewery. So once again, I guess, it's a whole thing that you can keep talking about.
Because in the end, like, you know what the end goal is, and I guess that's what people have to think about. In the end, like, it's not the people, it's the overall ethos and intention of the brand, and the intention of the brand is to eat up craft beer so that it dies and that they can dominate this category. Because craft beer is a nuisance. Craft breweries are a nuisance. They're hitting your pocket. Like, there's no positive to having craft breweries as a competitor. You know, like, you don't want that.
No, absolutely not for them. That's a great point. Paniza, is a Brazilian guy that lives in Toronto. He's from the GTA Brewers and got the gold medal, the GTA Brewing Championship. Then his beer was brewed by Hender and got the CBA medal brown ale. Okay, so I don't know. I guess if we have to talk about it after, Patty, you can school us. But like, I would just love to know, because like, if he's this is an interesting thing. If he's done all that, he's come up through the ranks. That's the equivalent to me of like a rapper who went to open mic nights and then fucking, you know, people saw him. Then he got booked to open for Drake and then got signed and then blah blah blah, and then he went and then did something whack and did a commercial for McDonald's or something, like, and sold out. Like, there's an element, like, it's weird. That doesn't make sense to me. That something doesn't add up with that story. He has a contract brewery and is an LCBO with a Pilsner, but is struggling with them, as you know. Yeah, because LCBO, like, a difficult contracting is tough. So like, if he went there to get exposure and he thought it was like a last ditch effort or whatever the fuck to get exposure, I mean,
it's like a strategic move, and I guess in the end, like, just looking at it from a marketing and exposure perspective, yeah, you're putting yourself on a big platform that you don't have to necessarily pay for. I'm curious what the arrangement looks like. But like, if you hated the NFL and someone gave you a free Super Bowl slot, like, would you take it or something? You know, where the NFL is very sketchy right now, or has a lot of hatred, would you still take it or something? It's interesting. Interesting, yeah.
It just depends if you care about beer or not. Oh, this is the same thing. Sorry, you're screwed.
It cares about if you, it matters if you, it matters what you, how militant or how, like, dedicated you are to the development and thriving of craft, because if you are, then you cannot have, it's non-negotiable, because it is a war, and you can't play both sides in any way. You have to be, like, completely committed to the other side then, right? So it depends what you, like, we will never promote macro beers ever.
We admitted that we've done it a couple times.
Yeah, but I'm saying
but with reason.
With reason. But we would never be like, hey guys, go out and get this Budweiser. Like, it's so great and it's good for you. Like, Budweiser can't sponsor the podcast, for example.
There's no amount of money they could give us.
They couldn't give us, they couldn't give us any amount for us to, because then it's just like, we've spent this whole time talking about how much we love craft beer and how important it is for us to everybody to buy local or buy from, like, local places wherever they're traveling. So then what's the whole point? So, and that's back to what Steve said. It's like, if you preached it, we're in that place. We preached the word of craft the entire time. So we can't go back on ourselves and who are we? What's the whole point of it?
Like, exactly, who are we? What's the point? What did we do all this for? Why did we support these people? Because maybe the people who work for InBev are cool or whatever, but we know the craft people because we interview you guys. Mm-hmm. Like, Patty, we're friends because we interviewed you, and then we got along, and then we kept talking, and then we became friends. And that happens a few times, but we know we go to any event, and we always know a lot of people there because we get to speak to you guys at length, in depth. How could we? Do you know what? If we went to, like, if we were to support anything like that, wouldn't we just think of all the faces of all the people that we know who we're fucking over by taking, like, we're harming their business by supporting these other people, and they're using our credibility. Like, if Budweiser or someone big was to pay us, they'd be using our credibility in craft beer to leverage our voices and our platform to spread their message. Mm-hmm. In whatever you said before, this is a war to derail the craft. Yeah. Intentionally, which are our friends. Yeah. And, like, why did we didn't waste our time doing all this shit for nothing. Yeah. Like,
it's definitely a war. Yeah.
And Patty's saying, I think the offer might have been very good because you do waste money as a startup in Ontario. Look, I know you've told us for sure, our friends have told us about how much it is, and Ontario is kind of ridiculous. At the same token, this dude must know that he is done for as a craft brewery then. Like, the only good side of it, as soon as I said done for, I'm like, that sounds pretty final. Yeah. I feel like people's goldfish memory is in his favor. Yeah. If we're talking about this guy just
I don't think you get written off all the way. Like, I don't think people aren't going to go to Big Rock anymore or something like that.
But Big Rock is already so... No, it was Big Rock. Big Rock. No, you're right. Big Rig's in Ottawa. They're the ones who had Obama and JT. He was there the other day, actually. Yeah, Big Rig.
JT was there again?
JT was there again last week.
Hey, Big Rig.
Big Rocker from Calgary. They were OG So and they are the ones we went with Bassam last year for his birthday in
yes, in Liberty Village. Yes.
So I don't think anyone cares enough, particularly out here. It was like, okay, cool. Maybe I don't know what the feeling is in Alberta or whatever. About it. Maybe there's different because they're OGs, or you're like, I get your money, bro.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they might have paid. I'm sure there was a pretty penny for them to do it, or maybe if there wasn't good money, they would just be. It's the promotion they were going for, but. Do the other thing. Some of these people, I saw this dickhead on Twitter the other day, and he was chirping at Indie Ale House because Indie were talking about we're giving shit to Molson. I actually reported this guy's tweet. Fuck this guy. And Indie was just saying, "Hey Molson, they're asking us to be on there. How about you let us be on your shelves with our flagship?" And they had a big stack of their beers. They're like, "Why can't you let us be on the shelf? Stop blocking us."
Yeah.
And this dude had in his bio was like #drink macro. So it's like I know. And he was like,
that's hilarious. Who does that?
It's like, who wants your piss water ass fucking like fancy ass beer? Or, the typical shit that
but
macros.
The macro's the piss water beer.
Ooh.
So that's hilarious.
So he might not have said that term, but he called it something ridiculous that made no sense.
That's like what Tim Hortons was like, uncomplicated lattes.
Oh god! And then they started doing lattes.
Go ahead with your flavor.
Yeah. You take all your third wave beans with your berry notes and fuck off. We'll give you dirt water. I fucking hate that. Like just. I don't know. That really annoys. I don't know. Both of us. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
I'll pay you say something. Sure, you're right. I got scared of fuck when I heard this story. I guess
with the macro deal, whatever that is. Yeah, I'm curious. I would love to hear the inside of that deal.
Yeah, I'd like to know what's up. I don't know. I just feel like people have a small memory for sure, but don't underestimate the aggressive hatred of the macros by beer nerds. Like most people in society will, they're cancelled and then all of a sudden they'll do something else and people forget that person's cancelled or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it happens to Kanye West how many times.
Yeah.
But if you look at beer, maybe it'll be okay. Is Ali sinking? Look at those weird things there. He looks like he's like flopping too much. He looks way too floppy.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Sorry, our plants.
Yeah.
Aloe vera plants.
I think he needs to go deeper down now again. I have to
he's sticking out.
And push him down.
It looks like
he's growing so fast and up and stuff.
I think this humidity is like giving these plants a lot. We have a lot of plants around us. I don't know if you can really tell. Look, see, you got the palm tree right here. The camera.
On the third wave. Oh,
yeah.
First of all, we need to do this very soon, actually, which I'm totally down.
If we do chat, you got to educate us on Third Wave Coffee. Oh, bro.
Our pleasure.
We would love to.
Yeah.
Particularly Melbourne. By the way, Steve, I don't know if you guys know, but Melbourne is the greatest city in the world for coffee. And I didn't know that. I didn't drink coffee in Melbourne. I drank fucking hot chocolates like a dickhead.
Yeah. Our friend Bassam got us addicted, and then it became a
spiral
of,
Yeah, and now we're...
coffee equipment covering the
kitchen.
Entire bench, as you call it.
And there are, kitchen bench, not a kitchen counter. It's a kitchen bench. It's like I make sure I keep the Aussie lingo strong here. It's a car park, not a parking lot, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. It's a boot, not a trunk, etc., etc. Okay, so that's enough about macro. Fuck them. We have one more thing we want to talk about before we wrap up.
Should we leave it for next week?
Okay, we can leave it next week. We can save it.
Next week, yeah. Let's save it.
I like your attitude.
Let's save it.
Okay. Well, anyway, the macro stuff, I'd be curious, so whatever happens, I want to see how people respond then. Maybe people will care, maybe they won't, maybe they'll hold it against them, blah, blah, blah. Maddie, I was just
talking about you.
What up, son? I was talking about you a bunch, bro. We shouted you out. You have to go back. You have to pull that up.
Well, it's like so much Straya in the chat here. So much Straya viewers. Even though Matt's like here.
It doesn't matter. Straya, we're
still, it's Straya represent. Yeah.
The whole country, East Coast.
Yeah.
So that was the main stuff. We had another topic, but it's not like timely, so we could bust it next week.
Yeah.
It was super interesting. It was touching on the stuff that we talked about. Did we talk about it last week? The diversity stuff, or the week before?
Single week.
We can never stop talking. This week we did not.
It's important, so we do.
Yeah, we want to.
This is like a bit more of a deeper dive into some.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's actually kind of lengthy.
I think we could tie it into something else. Yeah, it'll be lengthy. Yeah.
I actually think next week we actually have 2 podcasts coming with 2 lots of guests if it all works out.
Oh yeah, 2.
We can push it after. Yes, we had
Thursday and Friday, right?
We have Thursday and Friday podcast next week with 2 breweries. They are locked in. Who knows if 100%? Because we've had a few that haven't been able to make it in some of the episodes. It's fine, People are getting busy. We're here, but it's nice for us if we're not always interviewing people. It's cool because we just get to yap and I kind of.
I get to yap with you guys. It's great.
Yeah, I really enjoy this format. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys would like to see us or hear us or watch us do or whatever, talk about or any ideas for podcast stuff, Patty saying love that. The problem with these delay things,
Very
I'm not
nice
really sure what
hanging
to
with
say
you
love
guys.
that.
Very
too.
nice hanging with you guys.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. But if there's anything you guys want to see us talk about, anything you want to...
Love you, Patty.
Yeah, you're the best, man. We definitely want to start. We'll probably jump. We've had like 3 or 4 episodes. Solo.
Yeah, I guess 2 in the beginning or 3 in the beginning. How many did we do in the beginning?
I think we had 3, maybe 4.
And then Nate was episode 4, maybe.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And then we had the last one, the one before that.
We tried to do a balcony edition, but the bugs were attacking us, so that was a done.
Was that was probably the second solo one. What was it, the first?
I think it was the first solo one.
Okay, so we had this
never again. Yeah, never again.
Yeah,
so we learned.
We had some people that we shuffled around in the thing, and we took a week off, and they kind of threw off the schedule and blah blah blah. So, yeah, we definitely want to get back into interviewing some folks. Definitely overhop. Yeah. Definitely have Steve and Mick and other Steve.
Yeah, and Daniel
Daniel
didn't answer to say if you're down, but if you're
Dan,
down,
I will force him. I know he doesn't like doing content. It's probably why. I've been trying to bust his balls for a while, so maybe it'd be good as like a homebrew. We can talk about homebrewing stuff. That would be good because we haven't actually done anything like that before.
Yeah.
And look, I feel like the way it's going, I don't think this pandemic is going to be ending to the point where everything's going to be back to normal. I hope that it is, but I just...
Probably not.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold. That's why we're not taking...
Before I had like August back in March, I was like, oh, I'm sure everything will be fine by August. But now, like...
I don't think so.
Just not even going to set a date.
Yeah, I feel like...
Just roll with the punches, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to keep talking to people. Here we go.
What's glassware.
Glassware. Oh, yeah, he told me about that a while ago.
That'd be cool. Were we supposed to do a video on
that?
He's down.
All right, good. Okay. Yes, and the reason I had that on our list of video ideas was because of Dan.
Ah, okay, yeah. It's in our Asana, so we're supposed to do that.
Yeah, so we're supposed to do it because we have like... The only thing, though, we'd have to have... It would be dope if we had, like, a glassware person who knows their shit about it.
Would that be a BJCP type person, or no?
That's like...
Or you get a Prud'homme, or you get a Prud'homme or something?
One of those ones, yeah. That would actually be interesting. The case, because Bloody Victoria's ruined it for Australia. That's true.
I heard.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
That's my people. Mum was telling me her area is about to be re-locked down, potentially. There's a whole bunch of areas that are like in the north. Mum's in the north, she's in the east, but the north people are just.
And they were doing so well.
They were doing. They had like 1,000 or something in the whole country.
Yeah, it was like nothing, and I think it was like 6 cases per day tops or something. Or
something
like
crazy.
Other people were like 284, 285, 300. And the U.S. is like thousands.
Like 50,000 a day.
Yeah, and now, something happened, and yeah.
And now.
Sucks.
Yeah, I think it was they let it go, and I think people got too lax too quick.
Yeah.
They stopped. I don't know if it was just people made it seem like, yeah, it's fine. Or like, when I say people, the media, the government, whatever, made it seem like it was okay. And then people kind of chilled. Mom said something, I don't know if this is true, but I might have took it the wrong way, but she said it was like people having too many people over at the house and maybe not distancing and like just out in the restaurants. I think the restaurants opened long before here. The restaurants.
Oh, they did, yeah, because they opened up way before us because they had like such small amount of cases.
Yes, Chris and Mr. Banks, like he's a mate, so I talked to him regularly. I think I spoke to him the other week, and they were later reopened, and he's got a huge space. He said there were only like 18 people in this huge space, in that huge house, and then outside he could have some more because they could space. They've got the whole. They probably converted the car park into.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Into a patio of sorts, but it is winter, so it's probably raining a lot, so maybe not that many people. I know it's like soft winter.
Yeah, but still, it's not ideal to be sitting on a patio.
No, it's not the funnest in the world. So, yeah, the Victorians ruined it. So, like, I wasn't a part of it, but I want to apologize for my people. Yeah, they fucked up. But at least here, I don't know what's going to happen. So we're just playing it safe for a little bit.
Yeah.
Queensland has like 1 in 2 weeks now. All the sporting leagues are basing their teams here.
Oh, interesting.
When you say basing, are they just sort of like, say, the AFL, they just playing all the games in Queensland? Is that, I guess that'd be dope, but they'd be like stoked because normally like that footy goes in winter and they're all playing in Melbourne and like cold ass. But actually, Melbourne's the only real cold place. Everywhere else is kind of hot. Sydney's not so bad. Adelaide's pretty warm. Perth's pretty warm, even in winter. So that's pretty interesting.
Byron Bay is there, right?
Byron Bay, there's no footy team there, but Byron Bay's like a town.
Okay.
We'll go there next time for sure.
Yeah, I want to next time.
It's the most easterly point in Australia. There's a sign.
There's a little geographic fact for you.
I walked up there. It's pretty nice. There's a big lighthouse.
All right.
There's a bunch of blokes surfing. There's blokes on the beach that'll sell you weed.
Oh, lovely. Always love a bit of beach weed.
Love it. You know, I think it was pretty whack.
Yeah.
When it rained one time, I remember when we went, and staff relocated.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Okay, I want to hear about
that. Do.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. When we went to Byron, I've been there once or twice. I remember pissing down raining. I think it was with Craig, other homie. And it was... I remember having to walk through the town like what is it, shin deep water.
Wow.
Like the whole streets is flooded. Like
wow.
everyone's just pissing down in the nighttime and stuff. I think we stayed over there. I think we flew up to Queensland and rented a car and then drove down to Sydney or something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's dope. It's a really cool place. I definitely want to get back out there.
We will in 2021, perhaps.
I don't know.
Maybe. Actually, it's so close. Probably not, based on the way summer works there. Because then it's like we would want to go December.
It'd be like,
and we're not going to get on a plane.
December, January, February.
Yeah.
We have to see how it goes. I mean, it's possible, but when you think we'd have to be there for a month. If it's still going, we're gonna have to quarantine. You'll be
That's stupid. It's like, who's gonna travel to quarantine somewhere? It's such a waste.
That's what I mean. We're just gonna wait.
Days inside.
Yeah, it's no. I mean, look, it'd be good for the first few days because the jet lag would be a shit show anyway.
Yeah, but not 14.
Always really rough, but not 14 days. Which is Tiff's cousin's here from England now. He's about to going to be our helper on the podcast.
Yeah. He's about to be the Jamie. You're going to hear his voice over there in the corner.
Just talking. The funny thing, he's British. He's from England, so he's got an Aussie, Canadian, and a Brit. So there's a whole bunch of accents. Me and him, at least, are going to win the arguments about what things are called.
I know.
Because me and him are probably 80% aligned.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, finally. I feel like I've been outnumbered for 10 years.
You chose to live here. And that's how it goes.
I did bloody choose it. Daniel said, go to Nimbin. I went to Nimbin. Nimbin is a very small town. It's where weed was legal or not policed. So it was one street. It was the weirdest place I've ever been. It was so fucking strange. Like, I wasn't sure if you'd be able to get it. Like, we went down with Ty, my boy in Queensland. We were walking down the street and like they got these little all different cafes. Every single place sells weed. There's blokes. I'm thinking, you right for weed, mate? Like, I'm not joking.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, nah, we good, bloke. He's like, all right, fucking go. Like, and you just went to a place and you just ask them for stuff. They could probably tell we're tourists and ripped us off, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was just dope. It was just really cool. And just everyone was fucking high and like, because there's no border, I guess. So we were talking yesterday about the border, like driving down because Nimbin's next to like an hour or so from Byron.
Okay, yeah.
And this was before cell phones, 2008. So we had phones, but I don't think we had GPS on. Like, I think we had to use maps or something.
Oh, back old school.
Back in there, or use a GPS and it was out of satellite or something. I don't know. Yeah, you come from Queensland to come down, so it's pretty dope. Nimb was pretty cool. I don't know if it's worth it now.
You didn't tell Bassam to go there.
I didn't think you would have been interested. Not that much, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
next trip.
Next time around.
We'll get out there. So basically, everyone there, we have to get on. I don't know if Bass would be too interested in being on this podcast, but I feel like we should get him on high season. But
perhaps a high season.
Oh yes, Bassam.
Live Bassam that we can all talk about soon.
We have an idea for this, Bassam. By the way,
we have a pitch for you.
Yes, we didn't have details, that's why I didn't reach out, but we came up with it the other day. So every single person here, we want to do some stuff with. Yeah, that's pretty convenient.
That's beautiful.
Steve will hit you up. Dan will hit you up. Patty will hit you up, and Bassam will hit you up.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all you guys. Is that everybody? Oh, and Maddie. Maybe we should have Matt on as well. Matt, you should come on, represent Collective Arts, and just talk about your experience as an Australian brewer in Canada.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be interesting because you just went and brewed in Australia too, so you'd be able to speak on both of them very, very fresh. Bassam's saying he'll do it. I knew you would.
Bassam's down. I love it.
You're not soft.
I love it.
Yeah, we have to like fine tune the idea, but we have the concept down.
Yeah, we have the concept down. Yeah.
So we'll talk to you. So no, this has been good, guys. I appreciate you guys coming through. This is always like it's like so much more fun when everybody's here and talking about it. Oh, Mick said Nimbin had an issue last Mardi Gras festival with cops raiding the night before, taking all the pre-roll joints and stuff. Wow, why are they even bothering? They know that's what they do there. Like Mardi Gras also festival is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is funny.
I dare say they're probably not going to have that no more.
That's pretty clever,
right? It is pretty good. Nimbin's pretty funny. Patty said cheers.
Cheers, Patty.
So
cheers,
appreciate
everybody.
y'all. Overhop, July 7th. Go check them out. Overhop Canada. Maddie's down.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Oh, they see he's Canadian. You should say absolutely, mate, not bud.
No, bud. Welcome to
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
He's already been in Canada, but yeah.
Yo.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for staying on our side.
You've changed, Matt. You've changed. Fucking changed. We had a segment on our other podcast called Your Mate on Monday.
Yeah.
Bad Habits podcast. Check it out. My brother and I. He mixes his podcast. He does
Craig loves a chin wax. He loves a chin wax.
I love podcasts. They're the best.
He's loving the podcast. He's trying to do a high season podcast. I'm like, how much time
I would do podcasts every day.
Yeah.
I know we don't have enough time right now
to do. Yeah.
I know, but I'd like to not do work and do content and media.
Have a chin wax, yeah.
And have a chin.
Yeah.
Can manage chinwag or no? I taught Tiff chinwag, and now she's like.
It's my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite things.
That's why the last
chinwag and Bob's Your Uncle are probably my two favorite things.
I thought you. I don't know where you get the wedge. I didn't teach you Bob's Your Uncle.
Your mother told me.
So you heard her say it?
And then people say it, yeah.
Okay, so Tiff kept saying it when we're going to Stray. She's like, I'm going to say Bob's Your Uncle. I'm like, and they're going to love it, trust me. I'm like, no one says that. What are you talking about? And then she went there, and then I think within like the first day, Mum or somebody said it, and then she looked at me like,
I was like,
see? I was like, fuck. God damn it.
I love it.
She was right.
Straya.
What should we call this episode, Bob's Your Uncle?
Mm.
Yeah?
That's probably a good one.
I like it. But made a bunch of other funny ones. I like the Bob's Your Uncle. You did. You said something about the war. It's a war. I thought that might be.
A war is good. Yeah. War on craft.
A war on craft. That's another good one too. Well, we can see because we did talk about that.
That's what Molson's doing.
A war on craft. That's really what it is.
Okay. Yeah. I dig it.
All right. We'll be yapping on.
Sorry. All right, mates, buds, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming through. Tiff, where can everybody find you online?
You can find me online at Liquid X Happiness. That's where I share all the liquid content.
That's on Instagram.
That's on Instagram. You can check out my business at High Season Co. for social media tips and tricks and all the tools and the fun stuff.
My business, eh?
Yeah. You said, where can I find me?
Basim, I was sad about Oz. Nobody called me a cheeky wanker. Like, what the fuck?
But did they call you the C word? Because that feels...
Yeah, the C word is more what they... But no one would ever say that to you. That's the problem. You need to really get in with them to be able to get called a C word. Mick, cheers. Thanks for coming through, Mick. We definitely want to have you on, my dude. I appreciate you. You guys are always coming through. I think it'd be fun to have you three and then have us on. That'd be dope. I'll explain how we do it. We usually have the Skype coming in. So.
Yeah. And Bruce, we hope to share a beer with you at some point in time.
Yeah, Bruce.
In person. We keep saying we need to try to have a beer with Bruce, and now the pandemic, so we'll see.
You said chinny reckon? I think you mean cheeky wanker?
Chinny reckon?
I don't know. I like it.
Is that a British thing?
It might be a British thing.
We need Dan, our British correspondent.
To translate.
The other Dan.
Yeah, the Dan. The Chinny Dan.
My cousin Dan.
So guys, yes, you can check us out. No, hang on. What's my end thing? So guys, thank you for watching. Fuck.
There's like a thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this episode...
There you go. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this episode, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast. And check out the long-form audio. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, fucking Google Podcasts. Deezer, it's Google Podcast now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually had to change the
whole
the Bitly. I had to change
it. Google Play didn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like Google Play, I think is music. Or now it's Google Music and Google Podcasts. Nice, they changed it and they're actually committing to it.
Nice.
For the Android users out there. Mick, for sure, let's do it. You're a legend. Appreciate you, bro.
Love it.
Yeah, make sure if you guys enjoy it, give us a 5-star rating. That would be beautiful, and leave a review because we want to make sure we're crashing hard on the Aussie beer podcast account that Steve basically does the charts every week, and we're just not where we need to be, mate. We're not where we need to be. We need to get out there, and that helps. So appreciate y'all. We'll be back every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in North America, and it works out to be 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on a Saturday.
Or 5 p.m. for Daniel.
Or PST or PDT for those on the west coast of North America. For England, I don't fucking know. Probably 1 a.m. You probably should be in bed, mate. You're not watching this. No, you should be chilling. It's Friday night. 1 a.m.
Friday night. You're hanging.
GMT. You know,
you're chilling GMT styles.
Yeah, you should be out here chilling with us, guys. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Social distance. Black Lives Matter. Love y'all. Get in you. Boom. There's the podcast, guys. You know how we do it. It's almost like we do the other podcast. We just it's exactly the same as the live. Whereas this, we have a little bit of live before and at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
You know? So that's got, man, appreciate y'all tuning in.
You guys are fantastic.
Yeah, this is so much more fun. I actually low-key kind of hoping this shit continues so we don't have to go anywhere and do stuff. Because this is
But then we have no craft beer footage anymore.
Yeah, that's true. The footage is kind of boring. Well, it's less work.
Fun being... Oh, so much easier for me. I actually don't... With the level of work we're doing, I can't even imagine editing podcasts right now.
Oh, it would never happen. We'd have to
it's very convenient for me.
Hire out or something to get it done. Yeah, because these lives basically allow us to get the video done. Allows us to real-time engage with people, which makes the audio and the whole thing more engaging and entertaining.
Yeah.
Whereas the other way, when we go to a brewery, we can always do it.
Live, no, you're not going to get the B-roll.
I'm not going to get the B-roll. Then there's no point. Yeah, exactly. So the B-roll is part of the whole deal, so people get to see it.
Later. All right,
Steve. Go busy. No worries, Steve. I'll hit you up, my dude.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see you guys Friday, 8 p.m. If
Friday.
you want to join us next week.
We're supposed. I gotta everything seems like it's above board, but we actually should be Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. We have 2 Ontario breweries in Toronto actually coming through. I have one of the beers already and waiting on the other beer, so I guess that would depend whether that comes through. But it's all penciled in, and as far as I'm aware, it all should arrive in time. So we'll keep you all posted. So stay tuned. We'll just be posting on social whenever it's ready. Steve's like, don't remind me to go to edit our last drunken recording.
We've had many of those.
Oh, yeah. And now I'm out. All right, Steve.
Okay,
I'll hit you up. We'll give you a shout. Guys, thank you. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.